Continue their long run in the top division if they could avoid defeat at home to Coventry. Well, this is what happened, as witnessed by John Watson.
A capacity crowd of over 40,000 for Everton's Day of Destiny. Founder members of the league 110 years ago, they've only ever spent 4 seasons out of the top division, and their 9 championships are exceeded only by Liverpool, Manchester United and Arsenal. All of which counts for nothing on a day when their supporters are haunted by the spectre of relegation, just as they were here at Goodison 4 years ago, when Everton came back from 2-0 down to beat Wimbledon and survived by the skin of their teeth. It's that type of tension that grips the ground today. Howard Kendall makes 2 changes from the team that capitulated at Highbury last Sunday. Bilic and Beagrie are left out. Farrelly and Madar this time start the match. Defender Carl Tyler passed a late fitness test. Coventry made a late fitness check on Darren Huckabee, who takes his place in an unchanged team. His partner Dion Dublin has 22 goals this season, 17 in the Premiership, which means he's a contender for the Golden Boot. Michael Owen of Liverpool 1 ahead at the start of play today. The Romanian Moldovan is away with his country's World Cup squad. What an anxious afternoon for the Everton chairman, Peter Johnson. Did he ever think it would come to this? Paul Alcock is the referee. Many times in the past I've seen Goodison bouncing in celebration, but today it's shaking with nerves. Coventry are wearing their chain strip of white shirts, and goodness me, nobody will feel the nerves more than Howard Kendall. But they're all biting their fingernails. Oh, well played there by Dion Dublin. This is Telfer, but he's given it away, and that may give Everton a chance to break with Barmby. Works between him and Farrelly and Madar. Barmby again, Duncan Ferguson in the centre. Barmby tries to find him, appeared to get knocked as he made the cross. But referee Alcock early on is letting play go where he can. This is Farrelly, and that's Ferguson. And it's going to come back to Gareth Farrelly. The shot is on! Oh, and it's in! It's in! It's Gareth Farrelly who sends Howard Kendall into a leap of celebration. And look at the Evertonians on and off the pitch. Well, big Duncan Ferguson here, jostles, wins it. It comes back to Farrelly, time to volley, and a spectacular one too, way up in the top corner. And Gareth Farrelly, the man who scored, wasn't sure of his place in the team until today. There was a feeling that maybe they might prefer McCann in midfield, but Farrelly justifies the selection. It's his first Premiership goal for Everton. The only other one was in the Coca-Cola Cup. What a time to open his league account for them. Oh, that's good pressure from Barmby. Oh, look at Madar here! Oh, it was a good interception. It had to be. Gary Breen stepped in for Coventry when Madar looked favourite. Scampering play again by Nick Barmby, and Madar was well placed here. And Breen really made up some ground, and with the outstretched foot he conceded the corner. For that, Dave Watson is forward, number 5. Craig Short, number 12. And of course, lingering behind them is Ferguson. Flick on just by Short. And that's Farrelly again. Oh, Watson's shot got a deflection. A wonderful save by Marcus Hedman. Gary Breen is down injured, in some distress. But Dave Watson must have thought there that he was close to number 2. Farrelly got half a strike on. Watson's shot, I think, might have even hit Madar, his own player. Yes, it did. It came off Madar, and a good flying save. It doesn't look very good for Gary Breen, but he has the character to try and shake it off as Everton prepare to take the corner. Watson near post with Short. Tyler further back. There's Tyler. Oh, it's been headed away from the line. Roland Nielsen on the post. From Carl Tyler's header. That's why you have a man on the post at corners. Or you should have. And the crescendo of noise swells again as Everton get a corner on this side, which Barnby will take. Again, Watson and Short in their near post positions. Tyler's up with the goalkeeper. And it comes out to Farrelly. Now across to O'Kane. Tyler stays forward. Short to Ferguson, back to Short, who was still making his way back from the corner when Everton regained possession. And that's why ball is over on the other side. Burrows stretching, but it's Ferguson's ball now. Into Barnby, now Farrelly again, he tries once more. I think I'm right in saying that Gareth Farrelly was Howard Kendall's first signing when he took over for the third time here at Goodison, came from Aston Villa, and having scored once, he was prepared to try again. Gordon Strachan won't let things slip. He's determined that Coventry should get the highest possible league position. There's no way that they're here to make up the numbers. It's a good ball. Huckabee collects it well. Dublin is in the centre. Whelan goes outside in now. Still Huckabee. Telfer's in there, so will Saltvet. This is Dublin. Played back to Boateng, and now it's Nielsen. And Dublin tries to get hold of it. Oof, he's gone down. Was there a pull there on Dublin? He doesn't really appeal. Boateng again. It was Short who challenged him. Telfer. Was rather careless from Boateng, and now Duncan Ferguson. Well, we've played nearly 3 minutes of stoppage time. This is mostly, I think, for the injury to Gary Breen. Mr. Alcock has one more look at the watch and then signals that Everton are halfway there in terms of winning the game that they've got to go for. Howard Kendall quickly up the steps to give the instructions at half-time, but it's Gareth Farrelly's goal after 7 minutes which really lifted the mood here at Goodison, and at this stage of the afternoon keeps Everton in with a fighting chance of survival. Well, you'd say that Everton were good value for that lead. They had one off the line, and goalkeeper made a fine save from a deflected shot, and at the beginning of the second half it's the same goalkeeper, Headman, who has to kick clear hurriedly. Everton needing to maintain the momentum here. Dion Dublin is the man down, but there's a smile on his face. Saltvet now is pushed forward alongside Dion Dublin in the middle, and Dave Watson gets a touch on that, and O'Kane needs to keep it inside the line for Everton. Whelan. Boateng. Telfer. This is a little bit more menacing from Coventry. Oh, it's Huckabee! What a good challenge by Dave Watson. Well, Watson really saves Everton here, because Huckabee was preparing to shoot, and it was a legitimate tackle from behind, just showing the experience of Everton's most seasoned player. And Gary Breen, in fact, cannot carry on, and he's being replaced by Paul Williams. Well, Dave Watson's served the cause in many different ways down the years. He's 36 now. That timely interception or tackle could prove vital, but here at Coventry still, it's Huckabee again, and this time Carl Tyler gets the ball out for a corner. These are nervous moments for Everton early in the second half. Telfer will take the corner. Now Paul Williams, who's just come on, is right in the 6-yard box, standing in front of Dion Dublin. Whelan to come from deeper. And they fooled them with a ball played back to Nielsen. Oh! Corner. I think the man on the line might have got a touch. In fact, he did. John O'Kane. That was a really near thing for Roland Nielsen. Oof. Everton's hearts in their mouths. Corner again to Coventry. Telfer takes it. Williams and Dublin are in there again. Well caught. What an afternoon to live through. It shows in nearly all the faces around the ground. Shaw. And Telfer working it in from the right-hand side towards Boateng, but Barnby saw that. This is Hutchison. Everything's to his left at the moment. Now Barnby's gone to his right. This is Cadamarteri. Hutchison again. Oh no. Everton got that all wrong. There was a ball on, but it didn't go to its intended target. Here's David Burrows. And you can rest assured Coventry haven't given this game up. There's a flag up there against Howarth for offside. He knows it's going right to the wire now. Things might be going Everton's way somewhere else. What Everton have got to do, first and foremost, is to protect this lead in their game. Telfer finds Howarth out on the right-hand side. Dublin is on the penalty spot. Needs to be marked, away by Watson. Telfer again, Howarth again. Dublin waiting again. Oh, it's awkward. It flew across the goal from Simon Howarth, and Mura must have got a touch. It's a corner. That's not what Everton wanted there. Yes, goalkeeper's fingers. Well, Telfer will take it. Dublin is on the goal line. Paul Williams has come to join him. Howarth is in the mix as well. That's Williams. Everton don't know whether to come out or stay in. They're defending very, very deep here. Nielsen for Coventry. Boateng, as Coventry stretch the play from one side of the pitch to the other. Dublin and Williams are still waiting for a cross. Here comes Williams. Needs to be cleared. Howarth. It could be now by Hutchison. Oh, he's miskicked it. Would you believe that? This is Williams again for Coventry. And again the Everton play. Oh, there's a chance here. It was Saltvet. Everton just at this moment are rocking. And in their anxiety, they're playing into Coventry's hands. The real problem there was that they lost the ball when they didn't have to, and Tron Egil Saltvet, fortunately for Everton, placed his volley well over. Howard Kendall still gesticulating furiously as the rain lashes down. I don't think he's being heard. There's too much going on out there. Here's Barnby. And this is Hutchison. And it's Barnby again. Now then it's Cadamarteri. Oh, is it a penalty? Yes! It's been given. Williams is furious. Cadamarteri is delighted. Coventry players surround the referee. Dublin trying to keep them in order. This is the tackle. Williams, no, I think he missed the ball and got Cadamarteri. That's my first impression. It may tell us more from here because Williams doesn't think it was a penalty. No, he got the ball from there. He touched the ball first, it would seem. Difficult one to call from whatever angle you're looking at it. Who's got the responsibility? Nick Barnby, perhaps. This could ensure Everton's life in the Premiership. What a moment of drama at Goodison Park. 5 minutes away from the end of the 90. And still players are talking to the referee, including Duncan Ferguson. Barnby doesn't need the delay. Magnus Hedman has got to go back onto his line. Could be one of the key moments in Everton history. Oh, he saved it! What a wonderful save by the goalkeeper. Oh, a save. Brumby strikes the penalty to Headman's right. It's too close to him. Nice height for a goalkeeper. And Everton are still not off the hook. Dear, oh dear. Here's Farrelly. There's the chip. Ferguson's coming in. And here comes Dion Dublin, and Saltvet's coming up alongside him. And still Coventry won't let go. This is Nielsen. Dublin's there again. Tyler missed it, hooked away by Barmby, and a little push and shove game going on here between Cadamarteri and Williams. Burrows curls the ball in. Dublin comes in for the header. Oh, that's the goal that Coventry have been threatening to score, and it's Dion Dublin. The penalty might yet be important here. Dublin has scored for Coventry with 2 minutes to go. Look at the faces. Dublin, who's chasing the golden boot, scores his 18th Premiership goal with a well-placed header. The goalkeeper, I think, got hands and didn't keep it out. And it only underlines that Coventry have always been a threat. It's 1-1 at Goodison. And everybody here knows that Everton have to get a better result than Bolton. So they've got to pray now that Chelsea win. Well, how could you have forecasted a finish like this? They'll start screaming for the final whistle, but I have a feeling there'll be more than enough stoppage time. O'Kane. It goes in towards Ferguson. This is Burrows. Oh, that's a mistake by Boateng. Howarth is calling as the Everton fans in unison scream for the whistle. Ball. They can't afford to lose, that's an absolute certainty, but Coventry are still looking for a winning goal. Amazing climax to the season here. Oh, who would want to be Howard Kendall at this moment? Will Everton have to settle for a draw? Will the other result go for them? Nobody knows. And this is Howarth. And suddenly, around the ground, there's another outbreak of celebration. If that's confirmation that Chelsea have won, Everton only need the draw, which is what they've got at the moment. They mustn't lose, though. If they lose here, Everton, Bolton are still ahead of them. Everton need this point. Well, we're almost in the realms of fiction here. We're in the second minute of stoppage time, and a match which Everton ought to have really sealed is still in the balance. Farrelly has gone off, McCann has come on. Well, Coventry are still attacking. They started the day. Here comes Cadamarteri with Shaw. They started the day, Everton, knowing that a draw would be all right if Bolton lost. Look at the people with the radios. Well, you can't help but feel... grip yourself in these circumstances. Ferguson and Cadamarteri trying to engineer something there, but Cadamarteri hoists the ball behind the goal. We've played 2.5 minutes of stoppage time, and most people are looking at the referee. Dion Dublin is saying to him, "Are you going to let us play on?" He wants to get a winning goal here for Coventry. This is Williams, Boateng forward. And now Saltvet and Howarth. Everton are just shaking with nerves. Nobody wants responsibility at the moment. Ball hammers the the said ball away. The referee looks across and he's given the final whistle and run off the pitch. And it looks as though Everton have survived. Yes, they have. Everton are staying in the Premiership. The 44-year run is protected in the most amazingly tense of circumstances. Edge of the seat stuff, pouring rain. But all over Goodison Park, a wave of relief comes showering down as well. A draw is good enough for Everton. They're on the pitch celebrating. Coventry gave it their all, that must be said. Equalised to make it a real cliffhanger after Everton had missed the penalty that could have put them 2-0 up. And all over the pitch, there are scenes of celebration. And what can you say except that one of the most celebrated clubs in the history of the game have got away with it, maybe by a fingernail. The supporters for the moment won't mind about that. They're just rejoicing in the fact that Everton will not go down. But dear, dear, wasn't it close at the end? We could have had a situation here, quite possibly, where Coventry could have snatched a winning goal and put Everton down. But it didn't happen. The equaliser was bad enough for Evertonians, but look at them now. They're allowing their emotions to pour out on the pitch at Goodison Park. What a finish to the season.
And so it turned out a sad day for Bolton Wanderers and their fans. They go back to the First Division after just one season, losing their Premiership status on goal difference. Well, now let's hear from the participants today, and we start with the Bolton manager, Colin Todd.
It's a horrible experience. I mean, being in that dressing room, I don't think a manager or players want to go through it again. I spoke to me players and I said, I know you were collecting your thoughts as a manager, I'm collecting mine. And whatever I was to say to them or trying to say to them, it wasn't going in because the disappointment of today has been too great. And it reflects on the players' faces.
Disappointment's a complete understatement of the day. I felt in the game we had enough chances to have scored before Chelsea did. We went to know at the time, but a draw would have been good enough. We're hugely disappointed. Nothing was said in the dressing room for probably half an hour. Everyone was that quiet. But if we look back 2 years ago, we've bounced straight back, dominating the First Division, winning the Championship with 100 points, and that's our aim now.
We knew that Coventry were losing 1-0. Then we hear that it's 1-1 with about 3 minutes to go. And, you know, if we could have just gotten that goal. But it's no good looking back. It's been very disappointing. But I would just like to thank, obviously, the players for the tremendous effort that they've given, and also them supporters. I mean, they've stuck by us, which through a season hasn't been... we've had our highs, we've had our lows, and obviously we've had the biggest low today. But as a manager, we've got to get on with... I know it's very early days, but I've got to collect my thoughts and look to next season.
What did you say to Colin Todd afterwards?
I was sorry. I was really sad because they fought very hard, and you know, you have to think about yourself. You have to think about Everton players. So you have to play the same way Everton play. You would like Everton players to play if we were in their position, fighting against the relegation. So we did our job. At the end of the day, I was quite sad for them because it's always sad to see somebody after a long championship to go down. So I wish them good luck for the rest for the next season.
Harold, is that the most difficult 90 minutes you've had in your managerial career?
Yeah, it would go close, Garth. I think that because of the importance of the game, the importance of the result, for so many people, really, I think that we went out there today and it was a nerve-wracking 90 minutes, as you say. Thankfully, everything's worked out okay.
Obviously delighted that we're staying in the Premiership. Deep down, sick the way the season's gone. Mixed emotions at the moment. I'm delighted for the fans and everyone that stayed up. But you know, you sit and think, you know, we shouldn't have been in this situation. But let's hope we've learned from this season and it's not going to happen again.
I mean, the elation of being a Premiership side tonight, or a club tonight, is is unbelievable, really, because I think there was an air of doom and gloom. I think that, you know, it happened on a couple of occasions previously, and I think that the fans, because they're reading daily the negative side of this club, that they felt that today was a day that we were going to be relegated. And we didn't believe that, and we've gone out there and we've done it.
The relief must be immense.
It is, you know, as soon as that final whistle went, shoulders were, you know, were relieved. I wasn't tense anymore. It's just a great feeling.
Still nice to be a Premiership player?
It feels great.
I think what we're talking about here is building a football club and building a successful side to not be in this position again. And I can guarantee this, that next season, I've learned from this season, I think everyone has, but next season this will not happen.
Trevor, you watched Bolton today at Stamford Bridge. They had their moments in that match. I mean, their destiny was in their own hands. They could have won it early on.
Yeah, it was a strange game because I suppose the atmosphere as such, because the Chelsea were the home team, their supporters almost made it a festive occasion. There wasn't the tension like you had at Goodison. Scorching hot day. I felt Chelsea in the first half were on cruise control a bit, and that was the time that Bolton should have taken advantage of it, particularly on about the half hour when they had about a 3-4 minute spell where the chances were definitely there. I mean, Nathan Blake, you know, turned up, and I think there is a little tug back. You can see the shirt, but he didn't go down. And from the resulting corner, you can't get much closer than this. Sheridan's shot gets a deflection, a header from Mark Fish, and I mean, Frank LeBoeuf doesn't know anything about that. I think that would have ended up in the back of the net. If your luck's going for you, perhaps you know, on this occasion, a free header. Jerry Taggart, unmarked, the best header of the side, just mistimed his jump, and no wonder he put his hands on his head. Here, Franson, this is, well, a chance out of nothing. What a fairy tale this would have been. Frank LeBoeuf almost falls over, shapes to shoot, turns inside sharp end. Little Dennis Wide decides to scamper back and shoots out that left leg, and the chance is lost. And I think you thought they would go on in the second half then and push further forward, but they seemed to just sort of, you know, disappear a bit, whether it was the heat or what. And, you know, at that stage they thought Everton were one up. They took a chance and took away the 3 defenders at the back. But Chelsea, by bringing on Poyet, who was a very good player, Vialli and Di Matteo, those 3 experienced players seemed to swing it back to the home team.
Talk about those in a moment. But do you think Bolton have been a bit unlucky this season, or have they lacked a bit of quality, lacked a front player? What is it?
I think they've lacked a little bit of quality. I put in the chances away. That first half, you know, I'd been very frustrated if I was Colin Todd, because they had enough of the play, enough opportunities. Chelsea, you just felt were there for the taking if they'd have had somebody to put the ball in the back of the net. And I think all the sides that have gone down, when it's needed, you've got to have the quality people to put the opportunities away, and they haven't scored enough goals, particularly away from home.
Now, what about Chelsea? You mentioned Vialli. He brought himself on for the second half. He's in fine fettle for the Cup Winners' Cup final.
Yeah, I think he'll pick himself. Yeah, I think he'll pick himself for that one as well. It's his movement more than anything that I thought was the difference. You're running alongside the 18-yard box there. At that moment, you think, well, he's offside. He wasn't too happy with the decision, and this is why. Neil Cox is picking him up. He runs along the edge of the line, and as Di Matteo comes in and knocks the ball, he's not offside. And at that stage, they played for the offside. And when it comes through, the assistant referee thinks he is. But that just shows you when you get a good striker experience, using his experience, he comes there off Taggart. I mean, he catches him out badly. It doesn't look quite so bad until you see this. He starts to come short, spins off him, and then it's a fairly straightforward ball. It's not offside because Neil Cox, again, this side is playing him on. And little toe end that dribbles its way. It must have taken ages for it to cross the line. If you're a Bolton supporter, that was the turning point, because then, of course, they had to chase the game, and I couldn't see him ever then getting back level.
Okay. Now Everton, Alan, bags of emotion up there, lots of tension, and a draw did it in the end, but...
I thought they were excellent, I honestly do. It wasn't about style and craft and getting it down and play it. It was all about grit and determination and character, and the person that epitomised that in the first half for me was Barnby, who was not renowned for his tackling, but he was chasing everywhere. He was up for it. He made 5 or 6 great tackles in the middle of the park, and he just set them up. As well as that, I thought they just rode their luck at times, but the way they played, they deserved it. This is the first one. This is the penalty kick. If you watch closely here, Williams definitely makes contact with that ball. No doubt about it. But
no
this is
penalty, you're saying?
No penalty. This is probably more important at the other end. Watson comes in here. Huckerby goes to shoot. Watson throws his leg in, does not make contact with the ball.
Should have been a penalty.
The best I can say is that I've seen those given. It just illustrates, those two examples, how difficult it is for referees. I think everybody initially, when they saw those incidents, thought, yeah, the referee's right, and yet we see them 2 or 3 times, and then you realise he's wrong.
Coventry kept competing in that match, in actual fact, but Everton coped well with them today, pretty well with them, coped with their pace.
I thought the tactics were spot on. I mean, we watched Overmars destroy them, Everton at Highbury last week, without an out pace. Today, changed the tactics, played the same system, but defended much deeper. If you're playing against pace, Huckerby's pace, you've got to do 2 things. 1, you don't leave space in behind, and 2, don't let them run at you. And the tactics work to absolute perfection. We watch here, Burrows in the ball, Huckerby comes off, picks it up, and when he turns to go to the defence, there's 4 round about him, and 1 man's sure to get it. This man is Hutchison in quickly, and Everton back in the move. Same again here. Played into his feet, onto him quick, don't let him go at you. Then he gets it wide. What you do when he gets it wide is you double up on him. Track back. There's no way you can do anything there. And the sure sign if somebody's playing badly, come short and look for it. It's not his game, but he's not getting the service. He comes off, and then he just gives it away aimlessly in the middle of the park, and Everton on the attack. So as I say, I thought the tactics were spot on.
Everton stay up. What have they got to do to make sure they're not in that position, as Howard Kendall said?
I think he's got to buy quality. I mean, he tried to buy quality at the start of last season and failed. The problem they've got is that players will come first and foremost for money. Then, after the money, they'll come for success. Now, if you're near the bottom of the table, it's difficult to attract the players. That is the basic problem they've got.
They've got a good youth team, haven't they?
Yeah, but it takes a while for those kids to come through.
Yeah, OK.
The supporters want it today, not tomorrow.